Men of Reddit, what's the biggest green flag in a woman? Us versus the problem mentality. AKA, instead of blaming you or herself for issues that inevitably will arise, she communicates with you in a way that focuses on what the issue is and how you can work together to solve it. Yup, this is huge. To me, this is also the key difference between a good work environment versus a bad one. Does your supervisor blame you for something when things go wrong, or do they instead figure out how to fix the problem and prevent it from happening again? And a side of this I've learned from 34 years of marriage is that just because your spouse is telling you of a problem doesn't necessarily mean she is looking for you to help solve it. Are we fixing or listening? Is a great question people need to use more often. Sometimes people want help, sometimes people just need to vent. Emotional intelligence, that will apply for men as well. Anyone who takes the time to wonder why they feel a certain way versus acting on it out of instinct is a gift. I've never been in a relationship before like this in my life. We can talk anything out peacefully, no arguments in years, no insults or hurt feelings. Emotional intelligence is the key. I've always wondered what emotional intelligence exactly is. I feel like the word is often thrown around. So when somebody could explain, would be nice. So a big one is don't take out your bad day on somebody who's just trying to make it better. A small story. So I hate my job and it's hectic. Hours are long and overtime is mandatory. This particular Saturday I was alone and had to do all the work myself. Soon as I get home, my wife asks me if I can cook dinner because she was tired. Keep in mind I came home to a spotless house and woke up that very morning at 4 a.m. just to bring me coffee. Inside I was furious and anxiety-ridden. I wanted to be snappy and be babied. But I realized why I was feeling angry. And it had nothing to do with her, so I instead just spoke with her about my day. She let me vent. We went and did something fun together and ate out. Both our days were made better together. It's taboo to speak this, but oftentimes people want an easy target to take their anger out on. Somebody safe who will take it. This is an emotion that's important to realize. And once you see it, you must control it. The end result of treating your partner like a punching bag is losing that emotional support. Eventually they will actively avoid you, so your day is now not only terrible, but now nobody will care. Everybody wants a queen, until it's time to act like a king. Everybody wants a queen, until it's time to act like a king. Didn't expect a philosophy lesson on Reddit today. Straight up kindness. I met my wife 11 years ago and fell in love pretty quickly. She is the kindest person I have ever met. Doesn't matter the situation, she approaches all of them with a serenity that I have never been able to match. Every dog gets love, every baby gets ogled at. You need some help? She is there with work boots on. Homeless? She keeps snacks and cash on hand to give out. I'm having a bad day. She will go above and beyond to make sure I know that I am loved. Fighting and or approaching conflict in a healthy manner. During one of my early fights with my girlfriend, now wife of 15 years, I was surprised that even though she was still mad, she clearly said, "I'm upset when you did X, because of something in her past. I know that past event is not your fault, but I'm still feeling some kind of way. We should talk later after I've processed a bit." Way different than my past relationship. No silent treatment, no hiding emotions and exploding later. Firm about feelings while taking accountability, honest apologies. It's great. We still have conflicts, and even yell from time to time, but they are productive in the end. Did she have a really good therapist? Is she a therapist? Was she taught this growing up, or did she somehow learn this on her own? She had a good therapist, and she is now, in fact, a marriage and family therapist. When I cried in front of her, my cat died, and she just hugged me and comforted me. Exes before would ridicule me. Literally can't even comprehend this. What a fact. Who laughs at someone in tears? I used to be a soldier. I can't tell you how many women I dated that were turned off because I showed emotions and vulnerabilities. Or worse, empathy for the weak. They heard soldier and imagined me to be a person I wasn't. Aggressive masculinity, sociopathy, and lack of emotion are equated to strength in a lot of circles, and some people are attracted to that. Being capable of admitting when you're wrong. My partner admits I'm wrong all the time. Sense of humor. Though many say this and mean laughing at my jokes, but I want to be laughing at her jokes and quick wit. Absolutely, if our sense of humor isn't compatible, then there is no hope for the relationship. One of my favorite things about my wife is when I am able to make her laugh at jokes that she doesn't want to find funny, yet she can't help but laugh at anyway. She asks questions about you to genuinely understand who you are as a person, not just what you do for work and other surface-level topics. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If he can't sell me a pen, I don't want him. Just want to add on to the typical green flags here: she respects your hobbies and interests. Does not have to be into them herself, but knows they are important to you. I'm in my late 40s and my wife is cool with my weekly D&D sessions with the homies and late-night gaming sessions. Unfortunately, not all are in the same boat. NGL, I've always wanted to try D&D, but I literally have nobody who's interested in that type of thing at all. Your wife is definitely the coolest though. Good financial decisions. Yes, baby girl, let me see your 401k and brokerage account. Rawr. Thoughtfulness. Thoughtfulness goes hand in hand with a lot of traits. My girlfriend is the most thoughtful partner I've ever had. I missed out on a job at my dream company, and she made me a feeling blue package full of blue snacks I like with a sweet card. I'll have a bad day, she'll surprise me with a dessert or a drink I like or something like that. She threw me my first surprise birthday party at an escape room with my friends because she knows I love them. When a partner takes time to genuinely think about you and the things you like, dislike, and thinks about things from your perspective, it's about the greenest flag I can think of. Asking me if I want to be Little Spoon. Yes, I want to be Little Spoon. Little Spoon rocks. P.S. She asked me this on our first night together. I knew right there she was special. My one friend calls it being the jetpack instead of the big spoon because she knows she's tiny. Wants to play Legos with me. I'll play Legos with you. Yay. Emotional and financial independence. I'd rather be wanted than needed. This should be a more socially acceptable preference. Speaking as women, I think it's healthier for both parties in most relationships if both partners can take care of themselves. I've seen so many guys mention that they are exhausted from carrying expectations of being the provider in a relationship. I know it works fine for some people, but I really think most adults are better off bringing some self-sufficiency to a relationship with another adult. The mutual support system is stronger that way. If she's a chain-smoking alcoholic with severe PTSD, it's okay guys, I can save her. Yep. I see you've met me. Her owning 2 villages full of wheat farming peasants. I love my fine maidens from the Middle Ages. Someone who actually is okay with their man being emotionally honest and open. A lot of women say they want that, but what they really want is a guy who'll call things cute and shed a single manly tear at Titanic, but will say, well, that's embarrassing, if he actually cries over childhood trauma or something. If you're mature and healthy enough to realize emotional honesty comes with awkward and difficult things that you probably don't want to deal with, but will deal with anyway, then that's a massive green flag. When she also loves to sit out and watch for shooting stars. I made my now husband go watch a meteor shower with me when we first started dating, and I dragged him to every planetarium and space museum I could find. He's not nearly as obsessed with astronomy and spaceflight as I am, but he was always a good sport about going with me. He proposed to me in 2017 during the full solar eclipse, pulling out the ring right after we took our sunglasses off during the totality, and holding it up in front of me. I've heard a lot of proposal stories in my life, and my own story is still my favorite. Wow, they are very supportive, they give you your space, they are focused on building with you, they don't see the relationship as you versus them but team versus problem. Being kind to pets, applicable to any gender. This one might be a bit odd, but when I met my now wife, the love and kindness my father-in-law showed me really stood out. The very first time I met him, we were all staying in a cabin. He offered my wife and I, girlfriend at the time, the bedroom and said he'd take the couch. I don't know why, but I think about that moment often, and now, I'm as close with my father-in-law as I am my own dad. Seeing how her family immediately treated me was reflective of how she would treat me, and I'm happy to report we've been married for 6 years and are going strong. They'll do silly things with you just because you like them, and truly engage in the activity. I knew I was going to marry my husband the night we got back from a date. maybe a month or two into our relationship, and there was a raccoon in the dumpster behind my apartment. I made him sit in the car with me and watch the raccoon because I think they're super cute, and instead of rolling his eyes or making fun of me, he settled back in his seat, got comfortable, and had a whole conversation with me about raccoons. We both came up with names for the one in the dumpster, and his name was the best one, Ranger Rick. I went inside and thought to myself, yep, any guy who will go along with my crazy and hang out for an hour in my car to watch a dumpster diving raccoon is a keeper. We've been married 5 years and I have no regrets. Edit, obviously I married a man, but the same green flags apply to women. When your friends enjoy her company and she takes a genuine interest in their lives. Men, what's the biggest green flag in a woman? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.